It's been touted as one of the most exciting racetracks in the entire nation. We're talking about Thunderbowl Raceway in Tulare, and they've just revealed their 2024 schedule. And we are back with Gary Thomas for Track Talk, talking about the dates, including High Limits, World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series, NARC 410 Sprint Car Series, and the coveted Trophy Cup. That's coming up next after these messages. Dave's Home Supply specializes in cabinets, flooring, and countertops. Visit their website at daveshomesupply.com to look at products, services, financing, and even a free estimate. Are you looking for bookkeeping, payroll, or income tax services? Then check out the folks at For You Simple Bookkeeping. They are a licensed tax preparer throughout the entire United States. For more information, click on the link in the description. Well, he's a frequent flyer here. You know his voice very well if you're in the state of California, as well as here on this program, this portion of Track Talk. We've got Gary Thomas. Gary, Thunderbowl Raceway, Tulare, California, releasing their 2024 schedule, and it's a pretty good schedule. I think that folks should be really excited of the great things that are going to be happening in Central California.
Yeah, Ben, thank you for having me on. And I think we talked about it last year where Tulare is a special events track. You know, they've went to that format 15, 20 years ago, and it just seems to work for the place. And this year it seems like there's even bigger events when it comes to the special event showcase. So it should be a really exciting slate of events.
I really think as the saying goes, quality over quantity is definitely something that I think Thunderbowl can boast. And I really believe that.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much every show there is something that is going to draw fans to the grandstand. So that's something I know that Steve Faria, Scott Woodhouse, Josh Miller, and the whole gang have really tried to do the last few years.
Well, so we'll just kick things off. Saturday, March 4th, it's going to be the Kris and Brian Faria Memorial. NARC 410 Series will be in the house, along with the Kings of Thunder 360 sprints. And it's good to see that the Faria race is a NARC race, a winged race again, which is really cool. I know that last year I think it was a USAC CRA event, but this is a long-standing deal that, as you well know, has been around for quite some time, and it's good to see the tradition continue.
Yeah, back when I was growing up and eventually started working with the Golden State Challenge Series, the Faria was always on the 410 touring schedule, so it's great to see it back as a NARC race. And the month of May, for whatever reason, just seems to be the best month for this event. You know, back in the day when it was either Golden State or King of the West, and now NARC, it's always a big show, and it's obviously very special to everybody involved at Thunderbowl Raceway.
Well, and it's not too very long before the next race, 2 weeks, in fact. May 18th, NARC is back in town, along with the Kings of Thunder 360s and West Coast Sport Compacts for KRC night, which is, I mean, NARC going to Tulare twice. Technically, they had two races last year when it was the Dennis Roth Classic, but still able to get there a couple of times. I think fans are really looking forward to that.
Yeah, and KRC with Gary Castro, one of the great supporters of Thunderbowl Raceway over the years, and really sprint car racing in the Valley in general. So, yeah, that's going to be another fun night. We talked about the month of May. It seems like those shows are really good. You know, it's like you're kind of getting out of that really cold weather. You're hopefully before the real hot weather, so it should be, picture perfect for all the fans.
Well, June 8th, it's not a sprint car show, but it should be a good one. The Kris Mancebo Memorial, part of the Central Valley IMCA Clash, IMC Modifieds, Northern Sport Mods, stock cars, and also hobby stocks on the card. So if you like stock car racing, I guess that's the night for you.
Yeah, stock cars and modifieds, man, they're exciting to watch at the Thunderbowl. I had the chance to do a couple of, I think they were the Dirt Nationals 5 or 6 years ago, and man, they put on a heck of a show. So that's going to be another good one on June 8th, the Mancebo Memorial.
And there's lots of talent to pull from. I know, in the Merced North area, a lot of good teams. Bakersfield is a hive of nationally well-known drivers, and Tulare isn't too far from those. And Tulare area even has some pretty decent chauffeurs. So that should be pretty cool to see them on kind of a track that they don't really inhabit very much.
Yeah, like you say, they really don't get the chance to run the Thunderbowl very often. This might be one of the only times they do all year. So that should be a great car count. And it's a little different format, obviously, with the Central California Clash this year that I know there's more info out on that as well soon.
So July, no racing in July, but August, they do have one date. It's going to be August 15th, $25,000 to win. The high limit series will be in town, along with the Legends of Kearney Bowl.
Yeah, that's going to be a big night of racing. I think I've heard through the grapevine that some guy named Kyle Larson might be able to race that show. So that should bring out a lot of fans and a lot of excitement. And obviously $25,000 to win a one-night show is pretty darn good.
Well, and then 410s. I mean, you look at the schedule and like pretty much every race is a 410 race except for the Trophy Cup tune-up and Trophy Cup proper. September 20th and 21st, World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series in town, and that is for the Dennis Roth Classic. Saturday night, $83,000 to win, with support on Friday, Legends of Kearney Bowl, and the Western Race Saver 305 sprints on Saturday night.
Yeah, it's been, I think, since 2019, before COVID, that the World of Outlaws have been there. Or maybe they were there a couple of years, nothing that, maybe it was 2 years ago. But, it's always been a tradition to have the Outlaws there. Normally, however, it's been early on in the season during the month of March. So this would be a little bit different than usual. It's actually funny. The first ever outlaw race in Tulare was during the month of September. So, kind of a return to where it started. And, $83,000 to win the highest paying race in Thunderbowl history. If that doesn't get you excited, then I don't know what we can do.
Well, and no doubt that payday is going to attract some star power, not just the whole West Coast going to make the track down, but also some, when you think about it, timing wise, the Midwest is pretty much done. Things are wrapped up. Some stuff on the East Coast as well gives some drivers an opportunity. Yeah, it's a long tow, but it's also a lot of money to win.
Yeah, and that's what you hope for. And obviously you hope that, maybe a California guy like a Dominic Selzy or a Justin Sanders can, maybe bring home the big money. Corey Day is obviously going to be a traveler this year, but I don't know what the high limit schedule looks like around that time, if they can even run it or whatnot. But it's going to bring out a star-studded field, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, some guy named Justin Cox won it last year in exciting fashion, so anything's possible.
Yeah, and he's shown the ability to get around the Thunderbowl the more experience he's had. So it's going to be a fun weekend, September 20th and 21st.
Well, and then we get to the month of October, which is Trophy Cup weekend, but SCCT now sanctioning the tune-up. This has kind of been sort of a new tradition. We sort of talked about this earlier, but the Saturday before the Trophy Cup finale, 360 sprints on the card, SCCT sanctioning, looks like support divisions, Western Race Saver 305s, and Legends of Kearney Bowl.
Yeah, so pretty much the weekend before Trophy Cup, we've always had something, but for the most part, it's always been over at King Speedway in Hanford. So, having it here at the Thunderbowl Raceway, it makes perfect sense. People can bring their motorhomes down, or if they're coming out, they can fly in and, catch a race in the Thunderbowl with the Sprint Car Challenge Tour and other divisions, and then get ready for 3 nights of racing at the Trophy Cup.
Well, and then speaking of Trophy Cup, Abreu Vineyards Trophy Cup 30th edition, presented by Rudine Racing, kicks off Thursday the 17th, and then it'll be Friday the 18th, and then Saturday the 19th. This brings drivers from all across the land and all across the region to one of the most exciting races that I think is out there in the country, with a unique format and a format which calls for performance. You got to be passing cars all the time.
Yeah, this is going to be a special one. I mean, it's the 30th running of the Trophy Cup, $30,000 in weekend winnings guaranteed, and I know there's going to be a lot more announcements as that race approaches. But it's amazing to think 30 years already, and for a lot of fans in California, this is the granddaddy of them all. I know we have races that like the Gold Cup that are has obviously always been one of the biggest shows, but just something about the Trophy Cup when it gets into October. The weather's cooling down, but the racing is heating up at Tulare.
Well, and the smell of the kettle corn and the tri-tip sandwiches. I mean, there's so much tradition.
Yeah, and then you got all the post-race parties and the music and the great food and everything about the Trophy Cup makes it fun, and it's one that people across the country look forward to.
No doubt. And then for folks that want to be keeping an eye out for some of those announcements that'll be coming along through later this year, what are some good options that folks can check out? Website or social media pages?
Yeah, pretty much ThunderBowlRaceway.com and TrophyCup.org. Those are the two official websites. And then the Thunderbowl Raceway and Trophy Cup Facebook pages will have all the latest breaking news whenever there is something to announce.
Well, sounds wonderful. Really looking forward to going to Tulare quite a few times this year. And no doubt the racing's going to be good, and it should be a good 2024 schedule.
Yeah, it's going to be a really exciting schedule. I mean, you think about the Trophy Cup, and then, obviously it all ends up with the USAC midgets on Wednesday, November 20th. So if you're a fan of dirt track racing this year, there's midgets, there's wing sprint cars, you got modifieds. So yeah, I think it's one of the better Tulare schedules in a long time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, midgets on the schedule. Closing out the year, that's a new addition to that West Coast swing, which has been so successful. They went to Bakersfield, Merced, Placerville for the Hangtown 100, and Turkey Night Grand Prix at Ventura.
Yeah, and it should be a great swing this year with both Placerville and Merced now on a weekend date. And you throw in this event at Thunderbowl Raceway on Wednesday, November 20th. I saw a couple people mention that it was the first national midget show there, but they actually had a national midget show right around 2009, 2010 or so. So this is, as far as I know, only the second time that we've ever had the USAC National Midgets in Tulare. So that's going to be another event that you won't want to miss.
Well, super, super special to have them, and it brings a whole different breed of cat, as well as some familiar names of some drivers that you're normally accustomed to seeing in wing sprint cars, hop in the midget, and actually do really well in it, and that's something that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and you got to think a track like Thunderbowl, maybe some of those wing sprint car guys that jump in the midget might even have a little bit of an advantage. But obviously the national guys and girls are so good. So. And Tulare, it's going to be fun to watch them attack that track.
Well, awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing how everything plays out, Gary. Really got to thank you for coming on, and it's always great to catch up with you.
I appreciate you, Ben, for having me on, and we'll be talking a bunch this year, I'm sure.
This episode is a production of Highside Racing Promotions. Be sure to like the YouTube as well as Facebook page and like these videos. The more likes and the more attention it gets, and we would like to get as much information out to the racing community. Whenever or wherever you're watching these episodes, we hope that you enjoyed them